Got it. A very good afternoon to all. I am Reeta Mishra, working as assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in IIMT College of Engineering, Greater Noida. Today I am going to give a live session over role of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. Before starting this topic in detail, let's have a glance of all the content which I am going to present over here. Here, the session content is like this. First, I'm going to explain actually what is the artificial intelligence. What do you understand or what do you mean by artificial intelligence? Then machine learning. Next to that, the deep learning and cybersecurity. There is a question when we are talking about the artificial intelligence role in cybersecurity or the importance of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. Then what is the for what purpose we are going through the machine learning and deep learning such topics that you come to know later on in the slides only. The second important topic, when we are talking about the cyber security, it deals with the various type of cyber attacks which are encountering in a very frequent basis. So here, one of the attacks known as the ransomware attack. What is the at what percentage these ransom attacks are affecting our day-to-day life? In a picture, in an image, I have shown that one. After that, the next topic I am highlighting here is the list of attack which has been expected in 2022. Next topic which I have selected is the challenges in cybersecurity. Basically, when we are incorporating the concept of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity, it means there are certain challenges, there are certain issues or the problems which we are not able to solve in cyber area, right? After that, I have few facts, real facts, which we are facing in journal. After that, the topic I'm going to cover is the association of AI in cybersecurity, how the artificial intelligence playing a marvelous role in cybersecurity, how it's improving the quality of the cybersecurity, and at the last, the limitations that we know very well. Whatever the new technologies or the new concepts we are adopting, each and every concept or the technology may have some of the limitation, and because of those limitations gives a backdoor entry of new other updations or the trending technologies. So here, why we need to go for cybersecurity, or why we need to incorporate the artificial intelligence concept in cybersecurity? Because the reason is cybercrime affects the security of more than 80% of the business throughout the world. This is the real fact which I am presenting to you. And one thing I like to tell you in this session, I am going to present some of the facts which I have really pick up from the Google platform itself, right? So among all of this, 80% of the businesses fully or partially be affected by these type of cyber crimes. So it's a high time to have a check of it. So before starting that, let's and try to understand what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means which is not natural, which is man-made. And why we are using this concept? Because as a human being, we are intelligent enough, but our intelligence turned to be biological intelligence. But when we are trying to when we are trying to train a system or a device and make it smarter, that time we need the help of this man-made intelligence, that is the artificial intelligence. And what this term intelligence means? The ability to learn or to understand or to deal with new things or new situations or reasoning. When we are combining these two words, that's the artificial intelligence, it means man-made intelligence, which help us to train our machines, our dumb machines, to a smart machine or the intelligent machine or the intelligent robots or agents. Okay. Now, when we are talking of artificial intelligence, it is not only the artificial intelligence works all alone. No, it has some more levels, like it has machine learning and deep learning like concept. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of the main set artificial intelligence, and deep learning is again the subset of the artificial intelligence in short. What is the role of data science? Data science, let me explain. Wherever we are using data, either in collection or fetching or saving or maintaining, The science deals with data is known as data science, and big data where we store the bulk or the huge bulk of data. Then it also incorporate with the name of data mining and warehousing also. Let's move towards what is artificial intelligence actually. Artificial intelligence refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machine. When we are simulating or when we are deploying our intelligence to a machine with the help of artificial intelligence, that's the point. It means what? We are deploying our human intelligence in a machine that are programmed to think like human, act like human, and analyze like human, like we mimic like human. Suppose if I want to replace me with a smarter machine, then I should train that machine as that machine can analyze the environment like me, that machine can think like me, and then machine can able to act all alone without the intervention of the human, without my involvement. Next to that, in many of the application, almost all the application nowadays, we are using the concept of artificial intelligence very frequently. Recommendation system is also one of the important booming topic in that. Recommendation systems are based on recommendation algorithms. These algorithms helps us in artificial intelligence to just monitor the behavior of the user. Google Now is one of the best examples. Google Now is an application which helps to observe the behavior of a human being or the behavior of the user or the behavior of the client or the customer, and on that basis they recommend the things. One more example here I like to tell you, that is the Google suggestions. Whenever we are writing any keywords in the URL of the Google URL, that time we are getting many of the suggestions. That's called known as Google suggestions. Apart from that, all the chatbots that we are using in the websites and the smart speaker like Alexa and Siri, these are the very related examples. Artificial intelligence is used to make predictions. Now point is how artificial intelligence works. It totally work on the basis of making predictions. Predictions on the basis of the previous experiences, and these predictions can be used in various of the areas or the fields like weather forecasting, financial forecasting, your trade market, or any type of. Apart from that, AI is also used for various type of games, operated autonomous vehicles like self-driving cars, process languages like wherever we translate the language, we translate the content of one language into another. That is with the help of natural language processing and much more. Google Translator is one of the examples which falls under this category. Okay. Next is what is machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is nothing but it's a subset of artificial intelligence, as I told you earlier. And what is the role of machine learning? It helps to make more accurate predictions for the outcomes. It means machine learning is totally based on algorithms and prediction based. With the help of the algorithms, actually we do the prediction part. Let me add one more thing in this. First of all, when we are talking about the artificial intelligence, there is different phases. That is called data processing phases. In that processing phases, we first collect the data, then we clean the data. And when once clean the data means we take out, while collection the data, we collected so many types of data. Out among that, we just retrieve out the relevant data, which is used to carry out certain output or to solve some problem or situations. And that clean data is being imposed on some of the algorithm, that is the machine learning algorithm, that like regression learning and different type of algorithms are there. In that phase, we actually train the algorithm, and once the algorithm is been trained, it is been again goes for the testing phase. And here, once the testing phase is okay, then only it has been approved. So machine learning, the process of its first thing, it's a subset of AI, and in this various type of algorithms are used, and on the basis of those algorithms, the future prediction has been done. Okay, here it's written machine learning algorithms use historical data. Historical means previous data, previous collected data as input and predict the new output basis of that. Weather forecasting is one of the best example. Production of it is very aggressively used in the field of agriculture as well, animal husbandry as well, and so many places. Now, the concept of deep learning. Deep learning means what? It is again a subset of AI itself, but deep learning works with multiple layer of processing are used to extract processively heavy higher level of features from data. It means what? The concept of neural network is used. That is known as artificial neural network. Like in our body, the biological neurons work. The signals are transmitted from one place to one with the help of the nerve system. In the same way, in the case of deep learning, we also create an environment of artificial neural network where multiple layers are processing, undergoing different type of mathematical operation, calculations, strategies, concepts, and they gives the output. Now I think you may be little bit familiar with what is AI, what is ML, and what is deep learning. In short, I can say this AI never works all alone. It works along with machine learning and deep learning. Deep learning is basically more giving more better results in speech recognition system and image processing system. AI leads to no human intervention, as the machines are able to perform several activities on their own. The technology has impact almost all sectors, including the cybersecurity. It means what? None of the area is being exempted from artificial intelligence in the current era. Now, what is cybersecurity? It's a practice of defending or protecting any type of electronic device. It may be a computer, it can be a server, mobile devices, electronic systems, networking, and nowadays we can include the smart watches because we are doing many type we can able to do the communication with the help of those. Whenever we are trying to protect any of the electronic devices from unauthorized or the malicious attacks, that is the concept of cybersecurity. We want to secure our devices or our belongings from the cyber or the global attack. There are n number of cybersecurity attacks nowadays, but these I have picked few of them. One is your cloud attack. We think we are storing the data in cloud and it's quite safe. Again, there is also a possibility of attack. That's the cloud attack. Password spray attack, when generally it has been recommended that you should have a good length and good combination of password, that the password should must have numeric, it can be a combination of alphabets, it can be a combination of special characters, and the password should not be easygoing. It should not be that easy or weak one, so it can be hacked again. And IoT attacks. IoT, that is Internet of Things and ransomware. One of the attacks I'm going to focus here, that the effect of ransomware attack from the year 2019 to 2021. Here you can see the progress of these attacks. In 2019, it has affected only 83% of the total global. In 2020, it is near about 158% it increased. And in 2021, it increases till 321% globally. You can just check the growth of these type of attacks. And nowadays, most of the attacks comes under the topic of ransomware. Ransomware attacks have many types. Basically, it has 3 types. Now here again, I have picked up some data related to your ransomware attack itself. Here you can see then that the largest ransomware demand, it is of $50 million in March 2021. Same way, let's check the effect. In 2031, this ransomware attack will be increased to from $50 million, it will increase to $265 billion. It is expected. Here, 32% of the victims paid a ransomware demand in 2021. On average, paying victims recover only 65. Instead of this much percentage of victims have paid the amount, they are only able to recover only 65% of their data. It means what? In spite of giving ransomware amount or the high demanding amount, the organization or that victims not able to fully recover their data. Only 65% of the data they are able to recover. Okay. And some more facts here, like here, this is very important. In 2021, in year 2021, in every 11 seconds, there is one ransom attack. And it is going to be increased. In 2031, you will get in the next slide how much the difference is. Okay. Next, 51% of the company recover their data using the cloud backup, because normally company people are also quite smart. They are keeping their data on clouds, and from the cloud backup they are getting, because from after ransomware attack they are able to recover only 65% data. So this is one of the option is there. So these are the few of the facts. And here one more thing, the total cost of ransomware attack in year 2021 is just $20 billion. Let's move on. Now, these are the few of the cyber attacks in 2022 which has been expected. Here is one image. You can see there that the phishing is of 41%. It is expected. Okay. Trojan horse is of 16%. Brand abuse. Brand abuse is also one type of attack, which is basically taken out to lower the quality of the brands, different brands between the company people mostly. Then unsafe app on different devices. Like we are very frequently we are using or accepting the request coming from the unauthorized sources, like a mobile, it can be tablet, it can be Chromebook or etc. So 28% of such unsafe attacks on different devices are expected. So these are the expected values. The highest one is 41%, then the 16% is the Trojan horse, brand abusing is 15%, and unsafe applications are 28%. Now let us move to the main towards the main topic, challenges of cybersecurity. Very first challenge is geographical distance IT system. It means what? The IT people are not able, because nowadays the concept of distributing computing is there. In this distribution computing, what happened? The system may not be placed at a single location. It may be in two different cities, it may be in two different towns, it may be two different countries, or it may be located globally. So in that scenario, what happens? The experts need to overcome this difficulty of the infrastructure. They are not able to monitor the things all together at the same time. And when we are talking about the concept of cybersecurity, monitoring, tracing is very important part of it. So because of the long distance or not availability of all the system at the same location is one of the major challenge in cybersecurity. Next is manual threat hunting. Manual threat hunting means what? When we are tracing or fetching the breaches or the vulnerabilities or the malwares manually without help of any devices, it is quite expensive, time consuming, and there is no guarantee that it will give you a proper outcome. And in between, while doing such things, there may be some hidden more attacks possible on that particular system or the device. So this is again the most one of the challenges. Next is reactive nature of the cybersecurity. Reactive nature of the cybersecurity means what? Predictions. If a challenge is going, or if a issue is going to be, a security issue is going to be happen, how we can predict it before and save our systems. So predicting threats before they occur is a great challenge for security experts. Reason behind that, we are not getting every time same type of threat as an attack. We are getting every time some different versions of breaches or the vulnerabilities or the malware attacks. So it's very difficult that we can't focus on a previous experiences and we can solve those attacks. And next is last point is, it's not last in my this listing, it is the last. Hacker often hide and change the IP addresses. Now, because the availability of various types of electronic devices like your virtual private network, VPNs, proxy servers, Tor browser, and many more, the hacker can keep their identity hidden, that is undetected, anonymous. So this is when we are not able to know the hacker identity or the machine which is been used for this hacking, we are not able to fetch it. Now here are a few facts. Total payoff which has been done Now it is this is the data I have picked from the net itself. Now you can see here, protect cybercrime cost. For the protection purpose only, the organization used in 2015, the cost was around $3 trillion. In case of 2021, the cost is about $6 trillion. And in 2025, it is been expected as $10.5 trillion. Same way, as I have told you, that every 11 seconds, just have a look over here, that in 2021, there is expected one attack after every 11 seconds. This will be changed in 2031. This attack will be after every 2 seconds. There will be one ransomware attack after 2 seconds. You can just see the what is the how fast it is being done. Here, the cyber insurance market, again you check, you can see how it is growing. $8.58 in 2021. In 2025, it is $14.8 billion, and then in 2031 it is $34 billion. You can just check what is the total payoff we are doing. And here, because of unskilled cybersecurity experts, this many 3.5 million unfilled jobs are remains there in 2025. Because as the new technologies are coming, every new technologies are coming with some advantages and some disadvantages or the limitations. This can be one of the reasons why there is a frequent increase in cyber security. Here you can see population on the internet, like 75% in 2022, 75%, excuse me, population on the internet in 2022, near about 75% are people using it. In 2030, it is around 90%, right? Incorporation of AI with cybersecurity. AI algorithms are used to, as I told you, that the data has been trained. And what to train? While training the data in AI algorithm, what we focus, how to respond to different situations, how we can collect the data from the environment, and then how we should behave. This is what the decided by the artificial intelligence. One reason is that. Second is AI used in cybersecurity to quickly analyze millions of data. If there is a bulk of data, it can be easily analyzed with the help of AI algorithms, AI chatbots, you can say. Zero-day vulnerability. Here I like to explain one more thing. Zero-day vulnerability means in the whole day, the detection of the vulnerability is done, and none of the threats have been overlooked. It means that, in other words, we can say, when we are talking about the billions of events or the data, taking care of data from different type of threats, from malware exploitation, zero-day vulnerability to identify risk behavior. That suppose if there is a device and different type of attacks are coming to that, how much that device is secured from those different types of attacks. That stands for the zero-day vulnerabilities. AI, machine learning, and threat intelligence can recognize the pattern in data to enable secure systems. What is happening here? The artificial intelligence, machine learning, and threat intelligence, they can recognize the pattern. Actually, the concept of AI is totally based on pattern recognition. We provide certain patterns, and these patterns is how these patterns are being made. These patterns are made on the basis of the behavior of the human being or some other activities. We already create the patterns and we feed to these machines, these AI machines, and on the basis of those patterns, they check out the security of any of the machine. And these, whatever the patterns are being made, these are made from the past experiences. Okay, it means whatever the concept of AI is being used, it is totally pattern based recognition, and these patterns are created on the basis of the past experiences. Now here one example. A report of Norton showed that the global cost of the typical data breach recovery is $3.86 million. In spite of paying this much of amount, okay, that same report also said that the company need 196 days on an average to recover the data. And when the company is recovering data after these many days, then after that also there is no guarantee that the 100% data has been recovered. As I shown you in the previous slide, that in spite of complete payment, they are only able to recover 65 to 70% data itself. So AI definitely need to be used in with the cybersecurity, because we are not getting that efficient output which we are expecting from. AI and machine learning enable company to reduce this much of response time has been reduced if we are using AI and machine learning, and we are able to recover most of the data. Here, how the AI improve the cybersecurity? First is your threat hunting. Threat hunting means vulnerability hunting. The traditional security techniques use signatures or the indicators to identify the threats. And these signature-based techniques can detect only 90% of the threats. 90%, total 90% of the breaches or the vulnerability or malcodes or malware softwares can be detected with the help of the signature-based technology. It means not completely 100. When we replace this traditional technology with simple AI, that is the general AI, it gives the detection rate of 95%, 5% extra than the previous one. But what one more thing you should take care of it, that you will get an explosion of false positives. We are getting 5% hike in this case, but there are chances of false positives. But one more option is that when we are combining or collaborating the traditional method with AI, the result is 100% detection rate first thing, and minimums of the false positives. Okay, so this is one of the reason why we are wants to collaborate or incorporate artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. We are getting 100% detection rate. We are 100% able to detect the vulnerabilities and minimize the false positives. Company can also use AI to enhance the threat hunting process by integrating behavioral analysis. Next is vulnerability management. Vulnerability management, again, organizations are struggling to prioritize and manage the large amount of new vulnerabilities that are, as I told you, that the attacks are the ransomware attack is of different types, and the companies are not in a situation or not in a like condition to check all type of vulnerabilities. Okay, the old vulnerability types of threats can be recognized, but what about the new vulnerabilities which are being occurring day by day and new? And when, as I told you, that after every 11 seconds there is one type of attack, and that attack may be new one. So in this case, AI and machine learning technique uses user and event behavior analytics, that is known as UEBA. UEBA, what it does, it analyze the user and the event behavior. Suppose, let me tell you, when you are log into your Gmail, okay, you give your login ID and password. As we all know, those two things, when as we click on the submit button, those two things will be get verified from the data which has been stored in the database. In case your login or password is wrong, it won't allow you, it will tell you to re-enter the details, right? Or something is messed out, or you have forget your password, something like that. So here what is happening, the user and event, both the behaviors are being analyzed, okay, and based off that analysis, baseline behavior of the user accounts, endpoints and server, and identify the anomalous behavior of might be single or 0-day unknown attack. It means what, AI and ML technique uses this analysis phase to analyze or to study the user and event behavior. Okay, So this is again, vulnerability management is again a very important part that is to be checked out in the cybersecurity, and it has been very easily done by the AI and ML techniques. Next is data centers. AI can very well optimize and monitor many essential data center process like backup power, cooling, power consumption, and all. In most of the in many of the AI also, many of the companies, they are using it and they are reducing the cost of the hardware maintenance, and they provide the insights of what value should improve the effectiveness and the security of the hardware. Global report a 40% reduction in the cooling cost at their facility and 15% reduction in power consumption after implementation of AI technology during data centers since 2016. In 2016 itself, many of the data centers use the concept of or the AI technology or the implementation of AI technology, which helps to reduce 40% of the cooling cost and the 50% in the power consumption. Next is your network security. Traditional network security has two parts. One is creating security policy, which needs large amount of network space to store those policies. They create policies, they create a very rigid policies, but they need a special space in network to store that. And second is understanding the network topology. Network topology means different types of networks in an organization. Okay, so when we are talking about the topology, then the load distribution is the major issue. These are the two issues. Large amount of space is required for policy storing, and when n number of topologies you are using in an organization, you need to think about the load distribution. If the topology is small, we need to give less load as compared to the topology having n number of systems. Companies are leverages AI to improve the network security by learning network traffic patterns. Again, it's the word pattern is there, means pattern recognition. So the companies are also taking benefit of network traffic patterns and recommending both functional groups of the workload and the security policy. Means AI is very easily handling both the things, the division of the workload among the topologies and the security policy made by the organization has been strictly used. Next is protection. Cyber criminals are found to be hidden in the system for a longer time, and at the right time they come out and they do some certain attack. It means whatever the cyber criminals are doing, it's not a 1 day or 1 hour task. It's a continuous process where they keep on tracking each and everything, and when they find the right moment, that time they do. In that case, artificial intelligence is, you can say, it's a versatile. It work upon it without taking rest, and it keep a continuous track. If there is any activity which is abnormal activity, you should say, that time it gives an alarming condition, right? Here's one more survey I have picked it up, that there are the various type of that the role of AI in cyber security. The percentage of enterprises that have deployed AI-based security analytics is 12%, and the person that's planning for deploying machine learning and AI approaches to the cyber security is about 55%. And by 2021, there are estimated to be an 3.5 billion unfilled cybersecurity positions throughout the world. This much vacancies, this much positions are there, which way we can work upon it. And the number of new malware variations that pop up each day is this much: 3,90,000 to 1 million. Means upcoming days are, we are enhancing, it's a technology era, or we can say it's this techno era, in short we can say. But as the new technologies are coming, everything is coming there, the chances, the scope of cyber crime is also increasing altogether. Here are few of the cases that use cases about that. That's a malware identification. As I told you, that the artificial intelligence algorithms keep a track over it. So they keep on identifying the malwares, threat detections, proactive responses, adopt to changing trends. As I told you, then the new vulnerabilities is there. They learn the environment, on the basis of the previous data. They adopt the new things, they adopt the new technology, they work upon it. Even the spam messages we are getting, there also AI is working very hard. They're like better spam and phishing detection, categorize attacks and all, right? Here are the last limitations of resources. Yes, companies needs to invest a lot of time and money, which is not possible for each and every company to do that. So like when we are talking about lots of time and money in resources like computing power, memory, data to build and maintain an AI system, then it's not possible for each and every company to go for it. Next is your data sets. AI models trained with learning data sets. Learning data set, when I talked about the data processing, that time I told you when we collect a huge bulk of data, among that we clean the data. We clean the data means what? We pick out the relevant data which help me to work to solve in order to solve a particular problem or the issue. Okay. So when we pick up the clean data or the relevant data from a bulk of data, that's called the trained data. So AI models need train or clean data. They can't work on the bulk of like haphazard types of data. No, security team need to get the hand on many different data sets of the malware codes and the anomalies. It means what? If the data is not in a proper form, if the data is not learned, not trained, not clean, then you can't work. You can't expect a better predictions on the future outcoming data, right? Hacker also uses, yes. Normally it is said that the hackers have, as the technology is advancing, they have also an opportunity to learn about it. Attacker test and improve their malware to make it resistant to AI-based security. They also have a very good space to work with it. They keep on analyzing, they keep on tracking. As I told you, hacking is not a 1 day or 1 hour task. It's a continuous task. It may take long time also, but in that meantime, they keep on trying. They keep on finding the loopholes which help them to go for any attacking activity. Okay. Neural fuzzing. Let me tell you what is fuzzing. Is the process of testing large amount of random inputs within software to identify its vulnerability. If large amount of inputs, data are there in the form of input to a software, vulnerability means malware, which is not good for our like system or devices, right? Neural word again comes from the neuron. That neural fuzzy leverage AI to quick test large amount of random input. In the previous slide, I've told you that data set should be trained or learned. But the concept of neural fuzzy, it comes under deep learning only, deep learning, artificial neural network. That neural fuzzy has the capacity to even work with large amount of random inputs, which are not much cleaned or trained. Okay. Meanwhile, attacker can learn about the weaknesses of the target system by gathering information with the power of neural network. Again, neural network is a very important, or you can say play a very vital role in your artificial intelligence. This is all.